This Thursday night football props and Brandon Jacobs interview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. Bet $100 at WynnBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today.
What's up, everybody? You're watching SGPN. Fuck the Cowboys. Let's go, baby.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. If you typically skip over the station ID at the top of the show, strongly recommend all timer.
Yes. Brandon Jacobs, who will be joining us later on in the show.
You see how excited Sean was to talk to a giant? I mean, Sean, you got to admit, even though you won't tell your dad about this, but
he did win me over when it. Well, again,
don't spoil it. But
he had some pro Eagles comments.
Just saying, I didn't anticipate you would have been so into talking to a former Giant great, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Brandon Jacobs.
He was a fun interview. So looking forward to you guys hearing that. Before we got that, we have going to give out our 3 favorite Thursday night prop bets. Of course, we have a WynnBet build your own bet and first touchdown plays as well. Of course, Ryan,
yes.
Dolphins, Bengals. Right now, the line's sitting over at 4 at WynnBet. A lot of it is because of Tua and his injury news.
Do you think this is splitting the difference between
it does
Tua
feel like
line
almost
and a
a
Bridgewater
kind of
line?
in between line? I wonder if Bridgewater is announced as a starter. What is I feel like they got to make it at least Dolphins +7, right?
Feels a little bit like the Brissett thing. They're splitting the difference because this goes to a touchdown, right? Yeah. If it's Bridgewater,
maybe even 7.5.
If it's Tua, is it 3?
I feel like probably 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. And a lot of people thought Tua had a concussion. He said that's not it. He even clarified.
The NFLPA is launching an investigation.
Yeah. He did clarify though in a press conference today.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You broke
back is broken.
What a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Wait, can we get that one more time, please?
Yes. This is an all-time. Someone tweeted out the meme of like the people asking Tua about his injury, and
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You broke
back is broken.
What a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Jim Gray, hard hitting journalist.
Spinal.
So we have a new Tua drop because the duck, he's balling out. The duck is not fair. It is
spinal.
That's the new.
Save
Tua
the duck for Jimmy G and Matt Ryan.
Exactly.
Washed old quarterbacks.
Oh man, got some props. Got some build your own bet. You can start building your own bet over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Listen to us going to work, crafting up some huge parlays. Same game parlays. You got to get down on these. Bet $100, win $100. You can do it all over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's right. And if you're in a WynnBet casino state, 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. They're live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. 4 states on the way. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBet is available. If you or somebody who knows a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Also brought to you by Babbel. That's right. Babbel makes learning a foreign language easy. For years, I dreaded learning a foreign language because I associated it with my super mean Spanish teacher in high school. Shout out to Senorita Rivas. Just it was no fun. And learning a language should be fun. You're going on vacation. Maybe you met a gal down in Colombia. You want to learn her language and impress her with your Espanol. I enjoy hablar en Espanol. Also, they got you covered for French, Italian, German, up to 14 different languages. Speech recognition technology. I've tried other ones, like ones where it's like, hey, you mess around with it. I don't feel like I got great results. Babbel though, podcast, games, video, stories, they make it fun, and 55% off your subscription. BABBEL.com/SGP. That's Babbel, BABBEL.com/SGP for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
I almost chimed in there when you were talking about different languages. Ciao. Such a great word. International folks are so mysterious.
Ciao is very good.
Ciao.
All right, Ryan. And a lot of the passing and receiving props aren't up for the Dolphins side.
Why do we think that is?
Well, just because of the uncertainty with Tua.
Spinal.
Yeah. And
I was putting the ball on the tee.
well, he's on the other page.
Final.
Need to upgrade that to the first page.
I'll go first. Joe Burrow over 266.5 passing yards. I think there's, this Miami defense, I feel like might be a little gassed. They were out on that field, that hot Miami field for a number of plays. The majority, like the Bills dominated the time of possession. I imagine they've got to be pretty exhausted. And then maybe you're dealing with preparing for a hurricane and a short week to travel out Thursday night. That just feels like a lot. I think Joe Burrow.
I forget. Do we apply the having to deal with family members and evacuations? Do we apply that to the pros or just colleges?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's a serious question because I do think you have Tampa is being evacuated this week.
No, I feel like it's got to be a distraction. Now,
do you just leave on the road trip earlier, and now you're dealing with the wife calling you? Like, where'd you put the keys to the truck? There's
a lot of moving parts. Either way, I think Burrow, if they can give him a little bit of time, and that could be the issue. Here's the thing: is like even if the Dolphins jump out to a big lead, I think the Bengals can play catch up and you can get there. Or even if they're playing from in front, I think they're gonna want to pass a bunch. So give me Joe Burrow over 266.5.
I was looking up the 40 minutes and 40 seconds to 19 minutes and 20 seconds. That's you don't see that in the NFL too often, right? I mean, the fact that Josh Allen had 63 attempts. I mean that. No,
and so I imagine that's got to impact the Dolphins defense, who's dealing with their own injuries as well. So
Tua.
Yeah, well, Tua the
spinal aside.
Spinal.
Yeah, they got their hands full. So I'm going over on Burrow passing yards.
All right, I thought we were gonna say the same thing. I actually went over on his interceptions.
Really?
Well, I think you still have Xavier Howard. You still have a competent secondary. We saw the dropped interceptions last week. So just from a dare I call it interception regression? I mean, think about it. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. There's not much difference in terms of their amount of fucks to give when it comes to throwing an interception. Their willingness to put the ball in a tight spot. And I think Joe Burrow needs to show out here. So I think he's going to throw a lot of passes. I don't foresee a version of this game where they're just pounding draining the clock on Thursday night. And I think honestly, I'm betting both. I know we don't have props for the Dolphins, but this is a Thursday night bet both quarterbacks to throw a pick kind of game.
Xavier Howard is dealing with a groin issue, or at least he was going into that Bills game.
Oh, he played.
Yeah, he played. I'm just saying
he didn't shut down Diggs all the way, but he also didn't trail Diggs all the time. So
well, and that's the thing. Your groin injury. You were out there for how many plays, and then you got a short travel week. That could be trouble. For me,
so you don't think Joe Burrow is going to throw an interception?
No, I'm fine taking that. Yeah, I mean,
plus odds, plus 110. It just seemed wrong.
Yeah, he threw 4 in that first game. He seems like he's figured it out
Josh
a little
Allen
bit.
Tried so hard to throw an interception.
They're due just off that. Next one, Tyler Boyd over 37.5 receiving yards. I know T Higgins also dealing with a
spinal,
but that guy got lit up. I feel like even if he does play, which it seems like he's going to play, He's got to have that bell ringing's got to be going on a little bit, and they seem to be scheming up stuff to go out of their way to get Tyler Boyd going. And I think they aren't doing a ton to the tight end, at least volume wise. Although interesting for touchdown options. I do think Tyler Boyd gets over 37.5.
All right. So I am,
and T Higgins was at least knocked out of that game for a little while, right? Or
yeah. Again, I went back. We haven't gotten to watch that game tape yet, but I do want to watch it because I don't remember hearing about him going into the protocol or doing anything like that. It was clearly a back injury, I guess. And many people, he came back. He played plays after that, so it's very confusing. So I guess
coming off a game too, 4 for 105 for Tyler Boyd. I mean, I don't think he's going to do 105 again, but 37.5 feels very reasonable.
It was a badass play when he caught that ball and just ran over the safety and took it to the house. All right, so
and he should have had another one. They had some design run for him that got called back. So
we're laying some chalk here, which I never like to do, but Joe Burrow to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Again, I think we're going to see like Josh Allen just threw the ball 63 times against this team in a game. They only scored 17 points, Sean. I think Joe Burrow is going to throw the ball a bit here. I don't think they're going to fix their team by changing who they are. I think they're going to fix the pass blocking, and Joe Burrow is going to continue to be Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow to only have 1 touchdown in this game seems like an odd way to play the game out. I'm bullish on Joe Burrow. I'm laying the chalk here, -150 for him to go over 1.5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Well,
my projection model has 2.2 in this game. If you were wondering.
For me, I think they might have a couple issues in the red zone. Either way, Evan Money McPherson over 1.5 field goals, -120. We keep seeing these games where the unders hit in prime time. I don't know if it's just a short week and they don't have enough time to prepare. Graham Gano got there for me Monday night.
Best guy on the team.
Well, and
hopefully we've cut that lineman that stepped on his foot.
And we
trying to hurt the gold.
Evan McPherson over 1.5 field goals, -120.
Oh, we're lockstep, dude.
He's gotten 7 so far this season. 2-3-2 feels like 2 is easy money.
I
right?
went
What
extra
am I
points though. 2.5 extra points.
2.5 extra points.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that better because it's a touchdown game for me.
Really?
It's a touchdown game for me. You know what we're gonna see?
What?
I went on a number of shows that aren't ours, and I explained the same thing I explained on our show. We're gonna see a gross win with this Miami team. We might see a gross win with the Colts. I feel like this week's we're gonna see a blowout. The more I'm getting to it, the more, and I haven't finished my handicap, but I'm really worried about what we're going to be saying about this Dolphins team in a week. I think we might be reappropriating the duck calls.
Well, Ryan, for a team that's 3-0, and you're an advanced analytics guy, unlike myself, gut handicapper, but you've pointed out their expected win rate has been, for a 3-0 team, is really crazy, right?
The last 2 games, I mean, I don't have the exact number, so I feel uncomfortable saying this, but I believe that their cumulative post-game win expectancy is less than, like, basically. So think about it this way: if you were to 100% means you win the game, like 100% of the time. So times 3, so 300% would be your maximum if you dominated 3 games. Their post game win expectancy, the sum of the 3 games is still less than 100%. They're 3-0.
They should, if you're using like the expected value, whatever, they haven't even gotten to like 1 guaranteed win. Math wise,
I would say that. So let's say you were 60-40 in 3 games. That would be 180%. 180%.
Oh, if you were 60-40 positive.
Yeah. If you won all 3 of your games as a -150 dog, a 60-40, we would expect you to have a cumulative 180% at this point. Theirs is under 100. I just see
it's really an outlier.
They could be 0-3. Like, that's the statement. They could have lost all 3 games. And we are praising them for it, but they
deserve credit for getting those wins.
Yeah.
Are they have a lot of signs of a team.
I don't want to.
They've played great teams too.
I feel like we're doing the picks episode,
Patriots.
but I don't. But we are market thought leaders, and this is an obvious spot to me. So, and I think the odds makers being confused is giving us an opportunity to maybe get ahead of it. Because if you think about it, like, you're listening to this, you're probably. There's no disadvantage to betting it now, because it's what's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You miss out on a 3.5 or 3.
True.
Yeah. All right.
First touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go first, Ryan. Or do you want me to?
No.
You're the king.
I'm
here to serve my lord.
I'll say this right now.
My liege.
I am prepared to fire on 9 different angles. So wherever you go, I can choose my own adventure afterwards.
All right. River Craycraft. Ryan and I were talking about him. He is 28-1, 2 catches on 3 red zone targets for the Dolphins, plus just a super fun name, right? Like River Craycraft.
Cray. Yeah, he's fun. I like him.
Totally in on him. And then who else do we have? This one's pretty interesting. I saw them scheming him up near the goal line. Didn't get it in the Bills game, but Trent Sherfield 30-1. Like the anytime
I don't like that you took that one.
Anytime they're scheming up for a guy in the red zone, that is someone you're going to add to your list.
Shouldn't have let you go first this time.
Joe Burrow 25-1 because it's prime time. Smoking Joe. He's not usually a big rusher. He's got 15 carries so far. This
Smokey
season.
Joe, prime time.
Yeah, I mean,
streaming for all the kids to see.
He looks like he's got you saw how fired up he was. I don't think he's going to go out without swinging. So Joe Burrow 25-1. I think he realizes they're kind of a desperate team. They need this win to get the season back on track. Last but not least, Mitchell Wilcox for the Cincinnati Bengals.
You motherfucker.
He is out snapping Hayden Hurst.
You don't get to take this one,
dude. We
talked about this earlier. I go, Sean, do you know who Mitchell Wilcox is? You go, I don't no idea.
And then
subliminally it just entered your brain.
I swear to God, I did not.
Son of a bitch.
I did not. I completely tuned that out because I'd never heard of him, and I started looking at the depth chart of.
What was the price you got on that?
40-1.
45-1.
Okay. Either way, he's getting more snaps than Hayden Hurst by like a decent margin.
Yeah. No,
I was looking at like Asiasi. Well, he wasn't. His snaps are falling off.
Additional context: Hayden Hurst dealing. He had a setback last week in practice going into the game. So there is still injury concern there. He obviously, to your point, he was out snapped. We love playing backup tight ends anyway. So, you gave out your 4 this week?
Yep.
Nice. All right. So unfortunately, we're gonna have some overlay together here.
That's fine, Ryan. We've done well when we have the same ones. Those are the ones that cashed.
So we're gonna play the game of a little bit of chalk and a little bit of not chalk. Chase Edmonds is getting 100% of the goal line carries. Raheem Mostert did receive 1 carry inside the 20, but everything else is going to Edmonds. So I'm eating a little chalk here at 10-1 with Edmonds. I love your cray. But my nugget on Trent Sherfield was stronger. He is the only member of the Miami Dolphins to receive a red zone target in every single week. That's almost not believable.
No, I mean,
he's the only.
Just watching it, you see them going out of their way to.
I'm going to go one step further. He's the only guy in this game that's received a red zone target every week. Trent Sherfield.
Remember that name.
All right, so 30-1. So we got a 10-1 and a 31 on the Dolphin side. To the chalk for my Bengals is going to be T Higgins. I think I understand that he got hurt. It sounds like he'll be fine. And this is again, I'm going to fade the number 1 guy in this Miami game. I'll check the injury report when it comes to Howard and the cornerbacks, but I like T Higgins, another one. If you remove the first game of the season when Jamar Chase received 6 red zone targets after T Higgins went out, T Higgins 3 red zone targets on the season. Jamar Chase 2 red zone targets on the season. T Higgins 10-1, and then as you mentioned, Mitchell Wilcox. I literally said to Sean earlier when he said I didn't know who that was. I go, I still got it. Sean's this deep into it.
I honestly completely forgot about that.
Mitchell Wilcox is going to win. This is going to be Will Dissly 2.0. Let's fucking go.
100%. Closing it out before we get to the Brandon Jacobs interview coming up here in a minute. Build your own bet, courtesy of WynnBet, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. For me, Joe Burrow, anytime touchdown. Love that. And that's a really good price on it too. Tyler Boyd to have 35 and more receiving yards. Joe Burrow 280 pass yards plus. Ryan, what do you think that's at?
I don't know who was your anytime. Tyler.
Joe Burrow.
Oh, Joe Burrow. Oh, that would be good then, because the Joe Burrow anytime I'm sure is 4-1.
17-1. Let's go, baby.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
What do you got, Kramer?
All right, so I kind of I like it to be a T Higgins game. I like it to be a little bit of a blowout, and I think Joe Burrow is going to have himself a bit of a game. So here's what we put together: Joe Burrow 2 touchdowns, easy, right? That's not a hard thing for him to do. T Higgins touchdown, T Higgins 90 yards, and Bengals to win the game by 9.5 points. Little onslaught correlation, 10-1, please.
Oh my God!
All right, let's cash.
Sean, I feel like a couple years ago when we were doing these D-Gens only bets, we used to get it up to like 200-1.
I feel like we never hit those. These win build a bet. I've already hit one.
What are you saying? 100-1's hard to hit
for some people. Right? Not for True.
#Degens only.
Hey, speaking of Degens only, you're gonna love No House Advantage. It's a dynamic fantasy sports platform. Really enjoy it. Again, it's DFS, but instead of players and their price salary cap, it is just over under player props. You rank it from 10 to 1. Your confidence essentially on them hitting the props, or if you don't want to do like the GPP DFS type contest where you can win $250,000, you can play versus the house. You go 5-0 on your player props, you win 20x. What's great about it is NFL, NBA's coming back, MLB, PGA, MMA, NASCAR. They have it all. NoHouseAdvantage.com. Use the promo code SGPN. NoHouseAdvantage.com, promo code SGPN, or download the app to get a first deposit match up to $25.
Sean, real quick, it was described to me perfectly by someone who tried out No House Advantage. It's the parlay card. It's a parlay card for props.
Love it.
That's exactly what it is.
It is. Again, I know the listeners, you guys are going to like it. And same for promoguide.us. It is the best place to go if you're looking for plus EV betting strategies. They got daily updates on odd boosts and huge cash bonuses from all the major sportsbooks. And they got a VIP Discord group that puts even deeper EV analytics right at your fingertips. Again, we've been looking at their daily promo updates. They do it once a day. You got to check it out. They simply don't tell you. It's not just like which team is probable to win, but where you can get the best odds, how to track down and cash in big on constantly changing promos. I know they just hit a big one off of Monday night. If you're not already using mathematical models to help you with all your picks, you are missing out on an insanely valuable tool. And the best part of all that is, of course, Promo Guy, run by a small team of passionate sports fans. We've had Sam on his show, big Michigan State fan, dedicated to building a well-informed, better betting community. Go to promoguide.us and check out their 100% tracked, transparent, and proven method for betting smarter. So make sure you check them out, promoguide.us. Joining us on the line, 2-time Super Bowl champ and host of the new podcast 27 and Q, Brandon Jacobs. Brandon, appreciate you calling in, man.
Hey man, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
So Brandon, when we found out that you were going to come on the show, Sean being an Eagles fan, I could tell he wasn't all that excited. But
that's sad.
But what I told him was, hey man, Brandon is a guy we can bond over one thing. One of the reasons that Brandon Jacobs is an all-time giant is because he hated the Cowboys as much as we do, Sean. He hated the Cowboys. And the first thing I want to lead off with, you see his face, because he learned from guys like Michael Strahan. We hate these guys. I got to ask you, the Super Bowl run 2007, when you get into the end zone, was that planned? Did you plan to try to break something in the Dallas Stadium and when you threw that football?
So listen, man, that's what that's how I really felt about the Cowboys, man. Like I scored a touchdown, and I just was just all like I couldn't hurt anybody else, so I just took the ball and I'm like, like this just pure hate. I still have that ball and I still have those little circles of the
where it hit the play clock. That's great. The speed and velocity with which you whip that football. I'm like, man, that's got some heat on it, Brandon. Maybe you should have been playing quarterback a little bit.
Oh man, you know what? I had quarterback knowledge, but I just couldn't throw the ball.
Well, and that's so I got to ask you, because the hatred was real. That's how it was back in the day. I know Strahan's talked about this repeatedly about what he learned from Lawrence Taylor and the boys. But when you see the guys out at midfield after the game last night swapping jerseys, does that hurt your heart a little bit that the hatred isn't there anymore?
You know, I'm not gonna say it hurt my heart. I think it's actually a really good idea. Believe it or not, I do believe it because you get a chance to collect, you know, some other items from other people that you want to have in your man cave or whatever it is. You know, whatever your relationship is with that particular person. So I do think that part is cool. Does it take away from the competitive nature? If you're really naturally competitive and you want to win and you want to be great, it won't really do anything. It won't really affect you that way.
So you were I never saw you swapping jerseys with Roy Williams out there. No.
We wasn't doing that.
Now, what's your take on the Giants so far this season? 2-1. They've been playing good defense. It seems like the offensive line, obviously, a bit of an issue, struggling to put up points. But what's your take so far on the Giants and the Brian Daboll regime so far?
Well, Brian Daboll at first, I'm gonna tell you right now, I love the guy. You know, I had a chance to talk to him a little bit. Great guy, man. Great coach. He's just motivated and he's eager to win. You know, and he's trying to use all of his resources that he can possibly use to pull the team in that direction, a winning space. He's awesome. So I'm sitting right now where I'm happy the Giants. We started 2-0, doing some great things on defense. First 2 weeks of the season, gave up a little bit more last night than they have been giving up all season long. I think our offensive line got physically whooped last night by Dallas. They have been playing well for the first couple of weeks, and Dallas just pinned their ears back, man, and they were just coming, and it wasn't too much that we could have did about it. I mean, physically beaten, and if we can get that right, everybody want to harp on Daniel Jones and what's happening with him. I don't think the kid is a bad quarterback. I honestly don't. I think he has a lot of potential. And everybody say he takes too long with the ball. Well, guess what? The routes has to develop. And if the line isn't holding up, then he got to scramble. He got to run and try to make plays somehow, some way without taking a sack. So I mean, playing quarterback, like under distress is always hard to do. Now, last night in the Dallas game with Cooper, we didn't get any pressure on him, so he had a chance to be comfortable in the pocket.
Horrible.
He had a chance to be real comfortable in the pocket. We didn't give him a chance to, we didn't force him to make a mistake, so he went in and he was just comfortable, I'm good. Are we blocking it up? Delivering the ball all over the place, so I think that offensive line needs to get better. I'm not going to give up on Daniel Jones just yet. I like the new regime. I like everything that they're doing. I'm a little worried about Galladay and what he's been doing so far. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I'm not really down on him, but we hadn't seen him in the first 2 weeks. It's the first time we've seen the guy. This is like his week one.
Now, as someone in the locker room, you have a guy like Kenny Galladay, hypothetically, that's getting paid a ton, that's not getting even playing time. How does that have an impact on the other players? Do they respect it for the coach going like, hey, Galladay's not putting in the work, or he's not doing whatever the coaches need to get that playing time? Or are you as a player frustrated to be like, hey, we paid this guy all this money, he should be playing?
Well, you got to be able to get it done, first of all. I'm not sure what the other regime saw to offer him the money, but there's no way he can be worth that much money coming from Detroit and coming to the Giants, and he's not performing. I'm thinking there's something else happening in the background that none of us know about. Because it's not that he don't have ability. Yeah, he had a drop last night, and then he had a play where he made a big play and it was called back. But this is the first time like any of us had seen him. So I think it might be something it's something a little bit bigger going on, because usually people don't miss that big and pay someone who's not that good $72 million. That just doesn't happen.
And to your point, Coach Daboll seems like a pretty straightforward guy. It makes me think that Kenny Galladay is just completely washed up. To Brandon's earlier point, the most pressures we've ever seen in a football game since they started tracking pressures in 2009 happened last night. So maybe it wasn't totally on Dan Jones, which makes me transition to the line. Any chance we can get your son? I know he's only 15 and still in high school. Any chance we can get him some a tryout with the team? Because he's bigger than you, Brandon. This is amazing.
Yeah, he is an awesome kid, man. I love the kid to death, man. He is the most humble kid that you can meet, the most caring kid that you can meet. Like, he's the type of kid. Well, he was this kid where everybody else in the school is going to lunch and going to enjoy themselves in the gym or the cafeteria. He works with special needs kids. Like he was the one doing stuff like that. The kid is awesome. He's a big kid, strong kid. He's growing. He's getting better every day. Makes his mistakes, learn from his mistakes, understanding people around him. Not everyone's gonna like him. He see bad things being said about him on social media. This is the funniest thing. Like, Daddy, people are really mean. I said, man, go read some of my stuff. You gotta
teach him
find out.
Yeah, you gotta teach him to ignore the hate.
He's great, and he want to play for the Giants.
Oh,
he want to play
yeah.
for the Giants. He said that's where he want to go.
So
he want to get drafted to the Giants.
Let me ask you this then, as a fellow youth sports coach myself, I assume you coach football, but was there any other sport that you attempted to coach through his youth sports journey that was just, you were like, no way, I don't know what I'm doing. This was a bad idea.
No, it wasn't. I've
nice
never
job.
been put in like everything else. I was a fan. Like they ran track, they wrestled. They swam. So you
weren't the swim coach, Brandon?
I can't swim. Not like that. They try to show them.
That would be funny if you're still the swim coach and you couldn't swim. You're just there for motivation.
Let's go harder. Let's go.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
You just come in, give the swim team a pep talk.
Well, I gotta ask, like when you go to these swim meets, the other team has to be a little intimidated when they see this 6'6", 300-pound young man jump into the pool. I mean.
Yo, it is crazy because he stands up on the blocks, and and it's like everybody else, and then him.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude,
it's like that video of Andy Reid.
He's right in the middle.
Yeah, Andy Reid when he dominated the pass punt and kick competition,
just looked bigger than everyone else. But
well, yeah,
he is. He's 6'6", about 320 right now, man.
Can he take you in wrestling? Like, have you guys ever scrapped it out? Have you lost that edge?
No, because I'm stronger than him.
So Oklahoma drill, you're still taking down your son. You got the leverage.
I'm stronger than him. Yeah. A lot of these kids, though, a lot of these high school kids, though, they look at me and they're like, "Coach, I'll smoke you." I'm like, "Man, listen, don't have me stretching. We can
got some old man strength going. Yeah,
30 minutes. I need like 30 minutes to stretch. And we're gonna be good."
Well, now you're and congratulations already to your son. Seeing he's getting a ton of already offers for D1 schools. Very promising career. You had going back to your career, you started out you started out community college and then worked your way up to an SEC school. Was there ever a moment where, imagine when you started playing at a community college, did you think you had a chance of going pro? Was there a moment when you realized like, oh man, I might be able to go to the next level?
Yeah, I was like 10 years old when I got that.
Oh, really?
I was like 10 years old when I got that moment, and I was still in and out of football then, right? I didn't play football from the time I was 10 all the way up through high school. I played, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then went to middle school, played. Then that very next year, it was the 8th grade. I went to an alternative school that didn't have a football team. I had a basketball team, so I didn't play then. And went into 9th grade, and they moved me up to varsity and didn't play me. So I quit. I didn't play my sophomore year. I was just chilling, cooling, just playing basketball, cooling. And then my junior year, I went back out, and here we go. But I've been knowing it ever since I was 9, 10 years old, because it was way too easy. I would catch the ball and just outrun everybody, and no one would ever be close. And I'm like, you got to run into some competition in a sport at some point, right? So I went to middle school, the same thing, extremely easy. And I had some guys I played against in middle school was good as well, but it was extremely easy, run away from everybody. I got in my freshman year, playing my freshman year, same thing, and then I quit. When they moved me up to varsity, I couldn't play freshman anymore. They put me on varsity. Why not at least let me play on a freshman team? And they think it makes sense, but they took me off, and then I didn't play. I quit. Didn't play my sophomore year. Quit. Went back out my junior year. I'm like, this is still easy. It's the same thing. It hasn't gotten hard. And then I didn't start till 3 weeks into the season. So I'm like, this is really easy. So senior year, easy. I made it to college. A little bit more competitive, in junior college, but still was easy. I was the number one player in the country out of non-high school guys, and I rushed for like 1,800 yards and got to Auburn. Like, this is a little bit tougher, but I had two guys in front of me, and Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams. They got drafted number 2 and number 5 overall. And, I went to Auburn, played with them my junior year in college. It was still easy, but I didn't get a lot of opportunities. So I left there to go to Southern Illinois. It was
Salukis.
a bit easier. Yeah, the Salukis. It was a little bit easier. I mean, I got there, ran through people, and then I had another counterpart there, Archie Whitlock, who was also there with me. So that was still easy. I mean, I averaged like, 6 yards, like 7 yards a carry or something like that. Then, I was like, okay, there got to be some competition coming somewhere. And then I got the idea of, it's my time to get up and go through the draft and, so on and so forth. And, that's where the competition came. So that what told me that I'm going to make it, because it's too easy. All this is too easy right now. If I touched the ball twice, I got 2 touchdowns.
So of those college atmospheres, what was the best game day environment?
Louisiana State University, man.
Oh, really?
I got to tell you. That was astronomical. I loved it. Being from Louisiana, had a chance to go to LSU. Didn't want to go because it was too close to home for me. So I went to Auburn instead. And going to Auburn, having a chance to go play there, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. It's beautiful. Georgia had a good one as well. So those places, man, they get pumped up.
Do you stay in touch with Ronnie Brown or Cadillac Williams and point out that even though they got drafted in the first round, neither one of them has a Super Bowl ring?
No, you know what, Ronnie said something about it one time, but we don't talk about it too much.
Well,
I was just with them too.
You mentioned how.
Yeah, well, I was real quick. I know Cadillac is coaching running backs at Auburn now.
At Auburn.
Yeah. So you fellow coach, bordering states. I would imagine you're still seeing them a little bit.
No, you mentioned.
I saw them not at the game, man. When they played Penn State.
Oh, nice.
You mentioned how high they got drafted. It does seem like where the modern NFL, they're not valuing the running back position as much. These running backs are struggling, even the high picks, to get to a second contract and really get paid. What's your thought on the running back position in general? Your kid is playing offensive line. Would you recommend him trying to be a running back? Like, where are you at with running backs in general?
My younger kid, Quinn, he was playing running back up until this year. They still give it to him a little bit now. I told him a couple of nights ago, I'm like, Quinn, I love you to death, man, but running back is not worth it. Like, what do you mean? It's not worth it? I said, it's not worth it, and you're not that good at it. So you need to go play on defense. Now, a kid on defense will absolutely destroy you, right? A couple of weeks ago, man, they played a game in Tampa Bay, out there, and they were up 14-12. Them guys, the other team got the ball on like the 2-yard line going in and scoring. This running back had been killing. He had been running good the whole game. This guy get in there on three straight downs and tackle this guy in the backfield for 2-yard loss every time. Then he made a tackle on the quarterback trying to scramble out the pocket to throw a pass, chased him all the way down up on the other side of the field and got a sack on him for like another 2-yard loss. I said, dude, defense is your thing. Like, it's your thing.
Little LT.
If you were to run it back, would you have been a defensive end?
I kind of wish I did play defensive end, man. It's crazy. It's crazy the way things go and the way things happen in life, because I have an interesting, another reason why I didn't go to LSU to play for Coach Saban, because the word was he was going to change me. He was going to change my position from running back to defensive end. Oh. I'm like, it's too close to home, and I'm playing running back. I don't give a damn what happens. I'm playing running back. Screw it. Whatever. So as I get up, I go to Auburn. I play running back. I get to the league. The guys I grew up playing with, and hearing their name on Newsline 9 every Friday night, and like hearing them, playing AAU basketball against these guys like Marcus Spears, Michael Clayton, played me, Corey Webster, and I played on the same AAU basketball team, and our high schools were really close. So all of those guys, hey man, don't come here because they're gonna change your position. So I'm like, okay, because they changed their position. But if you go back and look at it, right, he changed Michael Clayton's position from a triple option quarterback, right, to a wide receiver.
That worked
out. He gets drafted in the first round from LSU. Gets drafted in the first round. Okay, changed Marcus Spears' position from a tight end, a dominant number 1 ranked tight end in the country, to defensive end. He gets drafted in the first round. Takes Corey Webster from quarterback, running the triple option again at St. James. Take him from quarterback and makes him a cornerback. He goes second round. I'm like, God damn it. I should have went and let him change my position.
Saban could have made you a first round pick. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, right? I didn't, but he never said he was going to change me. They told me that.
Yeah.
It ended up working out great for those guys.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, totally. That's
a good story. Man.
That's great.
Yeah, man.
Taking a quick break from the Brandon Jacobs interview to talk about our buddies over at Odds Trader. Again, Odds Trader is your one-stop shop when it comes to finding all the major books and all the best prices. Again, you can compare the different sign-up codes, the promos, get the best player stats as well. Key game stats, injury reports, projected game day weather, which is really important for this Sunday with the London game, all the hurricane stuff going on. You need to stay up to date, handicap and play-by-play updates. The bet tracker, Odds Trader has it all. So get started today. Go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire, oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. Odds Trader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. We're also brought to you by the Elias Game Plan app. If you're like me, and you probably are, because you're listening to a sports gambling podcast, you're always looking for more information when it comes to betting, fantasy. Love my Elias Game Plan app. Again, a ton of the nuggets I pull from the research for the show comes from the Elias Game Plan app. This is one I really liked for the Dolphins Bengals game. This is the 4th time the Dolphins have started the season 3-0 since 2000. Each of the other 3 times, 2002, 2013, 2018, they failed to reach the postseason and averaged only 8 wins over those 3 seasons. Hopefully for Big Rob, that is not the case with this Dolphins team, right? They're going to the Super Bowl. Download the Elias Game Plan app, ELIAS, and use our promo code SGPN15 to get 15% off your annual subscription. That's the Elias Game Plan app. Promo code SGPN15 for 15% off. Last but not least, make sure you check out Fubo TV. Again, if you're watching football, you got to cut the cord, man. And just because you cut the cord doesn't mean you're going to miss out on the games. College football, pro football, the red zone, all the games in 4K at no extra charge. They got you covered. And again, a fraction of the price of cable, cloud-based DVR, so you can take all your shows, your games on the go. And you get 7 free days plus 15% off your first month. All you got to do is go to FUBOTV.com/SGP. That's FuboTV.com/SGP. And we're back talking Brandon Jacobs. You mentioned Ryan was asking about like autographing, jerseys after the game. You said you still have the ball that you spiked into the play clock. That was a great one. Looking through your doing a little research before the interview, I completely spaced on this, but you were fined once $10,000 for throwing your helmet into the stands in Indianapolis.
Oh, you have to bring that up. Hey, it would be a Philadelphia fan to bring some stuff
exactly.
Like that
Come on, got to bust your chops a little bit. So what did you now?
We were playing against Indianapolis Colts, and nothing was happening for me. And it just seemed like every time Ahmad got in, something happened. I'm like, well, do they not want to block for me? I was pissed. Right, I was so mad, and then Coach Coughlin was on me. I'm making mistakes. It was like my worst game, man. Part of my worst game. Like emotionally and physically that I ever played. I felt like when I got the ball, things just crashed down. I felt like I wasn't running as hard. I felt like I was just, I don't know. I felt like I just screwed myself out of that particular Sunday from the morning to tonight. So he pulled me out the game. He benched me, and I had on these new Reebok sticker gloves that me and Ahmad only wore. So he may be able to attest to the stickiness of these gloves. Him and I was the only 2 that wore them. Right, I was pissed, but I wasn't that pissed off about to throw a helmet 25 rows into the stands. I wasn't that mad. I wasn't I was still in my right mind. So I tried to throw the helmet. I had it by a face mask. Like my whole hand was in the inside of the face mask. Like, I wasn't just took it and I wanted to throw it up against the bench. And I just followed through and it stuck on and I got up to the very top, it came off, and I saw it fly up. And I was like, if we had the cameras that they have now, then
the cell phone?
People would like all the cameras around the field that they have now, the cameras would be able to show, like, I really didn't want to do that. Because my reaction after I threw it, I was like, and I just sat down and I'm like, holy shit, what did I just do? I didn't want to throw it. I wanted to throw it against the bench, man. So that was a real mistake. And people might be like, BS. It wasn't.
Now, what did you get your helmet back? Because if I was a Colts fan and I'm like, I'm going to keep, this is a great souvenir. Did you have to go up in the stands and get it back? Like, what happened?
No. So the event staff that they had working the game went the helmet back, and I'm like, and I'm thinking like this, like kind of like, yo, let him keep it. Just bring it down. I'll sign it. Let him keep it. Let him keep it. If that's the worst thing happened and he's keeping the helmet, then cool. One of my game helmets that I played in, I signed it. I gave it back to him. And Coach Coughlin put me on the bench, so I wasn't getting back in the game. Anyway,
not gonna need it.
So just like let him keep it. Let him keep it. But they brought the helmet back down. And then because there's a lot of stuff that could have came from it. Giants could have been sued. The NFL could have been sued. Like all of that stuff could have happened.
Yeah.
So I got the fine from the league, and then Peyton, I think, gave the guy like this whole bunch of stuff that was signed and stuff like that, and it was gone. Like just like that. So I'm like, that's the part I was more worried about, but we ended up getting out of that thing pretty good, man. But it was definitely a mistake, man.
So $10,000 from the NFL, is that bigger than the amount of fines you got from Coach Coughlin over the years?
Oh man, Coach Coughlin. So yeah, that fine was. But I'm gonna tell you, like I would get fined from Coach Coughlin, not that much though. I didn't get fined by him like that much because I always did what I was supposed to do. I didn't push him. I didn't push him. He might have fined me a few times. $2,500 here or there, like that. It wasn't really too bad with Coughlin, man.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Coughlin was known for running a tight ship. Was it true he always had the clock set like 5 minutes ahead or something? If you're not there, you're late. That's like a little too far, right?
Yeah, he set the clocks 5 minutes ahead.
Yeah, he's
5 minutes back.
Yeah,
but it's just Coach Coughlin, man. He was just a guy, that wanted you to be perfect, man. He was a guy that came in with rules and. Like kind of that, he had kids that were a tad bit older than a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? So he had that real like figure on us. Like he wanted us to be great, he wanted us to be good men, and wanted us to be good husbands and dads, So that's more like what, he ingrained, and playing for Coach Coughlin was the greatest thing for me. But a lot of guys have problems with the way he handled the team. And, and Coach knew that. He knew that, and he gave us our leadership committee, and we started to, be the middle row, get votes from each other, because we can't have the whole team vote on certain things. So we had a leadership committee. It was like 12 of us that voted on certain things that, we wanted and stuff like that, man. It was great, So those teams that I was on, Coach Coughlin was coach, probably was the best time of my life, and it all predicated, to me playing for Coach Coughlin and the rest of the guys I went to war with.
Who was the guy on that team that no one gives enough credit for being the dog in the locker room?
Oh, myself.
Love that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Like a lot of people don't, but I never really said like too much about what I think I deserve. People don't. You factor in this. Fans do that all the time. Like they stay on me about this Ring of Honor thing. I'm like, you guys, I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. They had guys out there, that hadn't been in the Ring of Honor that played before me who was effective, like Otis Anderson, Rodney Hampton, Joe Morris, like guys like that those guys just went in. So I get it, so you can't, I don't know, those guys are just going in. So, and they played in the 80s, it's 2022. So, people just got to be patient. If it happens, it can happen down the line. So who knows, people ask me, but I never really throw myself in the mix when people start saying things.
Giants could use a dog like you in the locker room right now, Brandon.
Now, Brandon, before we let you go, it is, we do make picks on the show. Who is your pick to win the NFC East here in 2022? He doesn't want to say Eagles.
So no, I'm gonna take you back because before, I'm just going with the Giants. The offensive line played bad last night. I'm gonna take that approach. I think the Giants' offensive line played bad just last night, and I think they are a good football team. And I think they have the defense to be able to play with anybody in the NFL. And I'm gonna have to say the New York Giants is gonna win.
That's what I'm talking about. He's not. Yes,
they're gonna beat. Listen, they're gonna split with Philadelphia.
Okay,
they're gonna split with Philly. We're gonna beat Dallas next time, and we're gonna sweep Washington.
Yeah, that sounds
4-2 to the division.
And so I just follow up. So I you played in the division. I'm sure you hate all the teams, and we talked about the Cowboys. But was there anything worse than having to go down and play in Philly in front of those fans?
I loved it.
Yes, there you go, Brandon.
Listen. It was
real
nothing
fans
like Philadelphia. If I had to pick my fan base, outside of my Giant fan base, I'm going with Philly.
Let's go.
I like the nastiness. You know what I'm saying? I like that. They're yelling at you while you're on the sideline. A lot of these guys nowadays, they're having problems. Fans saying all kinds of stuff. Like back then, you got guys want to go up in the stands and fight and say stuff and do this. I'm just going to tell you something back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you something back.
It got you fired up.
Guys are getting a little sensitive about it. But I like Philly. It was tough going in there winning, which we had no problems doing. We had no problems going into Philadelphia on a Sunday night or Sunday afternoon at 4:15 and kick their asses. We never had a problem doing that, but it was so fun going in there doing it. But we got our stuff handed to us too, and there were some great battles, man.
Brian Dawkins, all time.
That's one guy. I would have given you a pass if you jersey swapped with Brian Dawkins.
Listen. Brian Dawkins, I wish I would have jersey swapped with Brian Dawkins. The greatest competitor I've ever faced.
Love it.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Greatest competitor that I've ever shared the football field with as an opponent, no doubt about it. It is not close with me. And then Ed Reed is the second one.
Oh,
I like it. Brian Dawkins ahead of Ed Reed. Appreciate it, Brandon.
Listen.
In
I'm not ranking them as safeties. I'm talking about passionate about the game, the mentality. He's gonna be there for his team. Brian Dawkins, man, great playing against him, great competing against the guy, man. Greatest competitor I've ever played against.
I love that.
Well, awesome. Great way to go out. Brandon, appreciate you calling into the show. Make sure you check out Brandon on Twitter at BrandonJacobs27 and subscribe to his new podcast, 27 and Q. You can get it wherever you get great podcasts.
Yeah, man. So I'm doing that podcast with me and my guy Rich Q. I have another podcast with a couple of my buddies called Facts Over Feelings. It's really funny. And it's really kind of like hardcore as well. So, it's kind of all areas, that I do. So it's Facts Over Feelings. Go there and subscribe as well. 27 and Q is getting off the ground. We killing it. We're doing great. Talking about a lot of great topics. A lot of sports. We have football, we got basketball, we got boxing, baseball. We talk about some of everything, pop culture, like some of everything. So, man, you guys be sure to get with us.
Welcome to the podcast game, Brandon.
Awesome, man. Best of luck. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Awesome talking with Brandon Jacobs. And anytime you can get someone to shit on the Cowboys, Kramer, he's a true friend of the program.
Yeah. Again, I never would have imagined you would have been so happy to have a conversation.
Well, as
with
he
a former
pointed
Giant.
out, he recognizes a real fan base when he sees one, aka the Eagles. Said he wished he could. I mean, when he said Dawkins was the single greatest competitor he ever shared a field with, you saw how serious he got. You got to watch it. YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast just to see how close and intense he gets when he describes how awesome Brian Dawkins is.
Yeah, and just you watch that, and then maybe we'll put it in the article. But then you watch how excited the sports science guy was to get run over by Brandon Jacobs. Didn't even get to it in the interview. But
yeah, look up that sports science with Brandon Jacobs. That guy was just a Mack truck on the field.
Just the guy's excitement though to get run over like that.
he did seem very excited. Hey guys, thank you as always for tuning into the show. Toss us a nice rating over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Just hit 5 stars on Spotify. Screenshot it, submit it in the our app, the SGPN app, for your chance to win free gear every Monday, merch Monday. Do a $100 gift certificate to the SGPN merch store every Monday. Amping it up here, and shout out to today's winner. Already been emailed, so check your email box if you submit it, because pretty decent chance you won.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Kramer. Let it ride.